are on level number 4 from the Fresh Approach Daily Drills. In this lesson, I'm going to cover the snare drum part, of course, standing in front of a snare drum, making sure that you understand all of the techniques and what I'm wanting you to really focus on as you're working through this daily drill. So it's not just a matter of playing along with the track and just playing through the music. It's really focusing on the proper technique and really concentrating on your own playing as you do it, so it really reinforces that foundation that you're going to use to become a great drummer. If you look through lines 1 through 4, basically I am reinforcing the paradiddle rudiments. So in the first line, we have the single paradiddle for 2 measures, so 4 single paradiddles, and then you can tell by the groups or the brackets or the beams of 6 notes and 6 notes that it is my double paradiddle. So hopefully you got really good at the double paradiddle on level number 3. Now we're going to go back and forth. So 4 paradiddles. Getting all of those great strokes, making sure I'm using the right amount of velocity, not too much, not too little. All right, making sure that I'm making a big full stroke, then switching to my double paradiddles. Now I only have 2 of those. All right, plus an extra note, of course. So paradiddle, 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 double paradiddle, stop. When I rest and I repeat, I play it off of the left hand. Now we're going to talk about this a lot on these exercises because a lot of times when we're playing on the snare drum, as right-handed players, which I'm assuming most of you are right-handed, we have a tendency to be very strong with our right hand and weaker with our left hand. So a lot of times we want to turn around the exercise to where we're starting on the left hand, so the left hand becomes stronger. We call this starting on the left or play it off the left. All right, it's basically the same exercise again, but now we start with the left hand. So as you're playing this, I'm going to go through the whole thing twice. First time through, you read that top sticking. Second time through, you read the bottom sticking. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle, stop. Now left. Paradiddle, 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 double paradiddle. Double paradiddle, stop. Now, if you're thinking of the rudiments, paradiddle, 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 double paradiddle, stop, you don't really have to count, all right? There's no reason to count. There's no reason to actually focus in on every single sticking that is written in there because you're getting really good at just reading the rudiments. And this will become important if you work on any of the rudimental etudes. Learning the patterns of the rudiments becomes like scales for the snare drum. All right, when we get to line number 2, notice that I turned it around a little bit. We're playing more double paradiddles than we're playing single paradiddles. So line number 2, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, paradiddle, double paradiddle, double paradiddle, paradiddle. So if you'll say that sticking to yourself, the paradiddle turns it around. First half, double paradiddle start on the right. Second half, the paradiddle turns it around, starts on the left. So think and say the rudiments out loud as you're playing them. Double paradiddle, double paradiddle, paradiddle, double paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. So if you get used to that, this will be easy. Now we're going to introduce a new paradiddle family rudiment on line number 3. This is a paradiddle diddle. Now this one is named for what it actually does, not a double paradiddle, which you don't actually play a double at the beginning. This one, paradiddle diddle, is the sticking. So notice the first half of it is two right-handed paradiddle diddles, and the left hand starts in the third measure and plays two paradiddle diddles. So the paradiddle diddle does not alternate. Paradiddles alternate. Goes back and forth. Double paradiddles alternate. The paradiddle diddle is on one hand. Right, left, right, left, left. Right, left, right, left, left. If I just kept playing double paradiddle diddles, they'd all fall on the right hand. So in this exercise, what I do is stop for a rest and then play it off of the left. 1, 2, ready, go. Paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, right, rest. Paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, left, rest. So we're going back and forth with that. That will set you up for line number 4. So line number 4 is the paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle. Now my paradiddle at the end of that turns me around so I can play it off of the left. So 2 paradiddle diddles, a single paradiddle, 2 paradiddle diddles, a single paradiddle. I'm glad I'm really good at saying paradiddle because I say paradiddle a lot. All right, you should too. So this exercise on line number 4, paradiddle diddle, diddle diddle, paradiddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle diddle, paradiddle. Now in our head we're thinking those rudiment names, but what should sound like to anybody who's listening to you, hey, you can really drive your family crazy by practicing your paradiddle, double paradiddle, and paradiddle diddle rudiments because it just all sounds like the same thing. Hopefully it does, because if you're doing it correctly, both hands sound the same, so it should sound like I'm just playing. All right, so drive your family crazy, it's great. Line number 5. Now what we're doing is working on our double strokes, but of course we've been working on our double strokes with our paradiddles, paradiddle diddles, etc., etc. But now we've got faster double strokes. So whenever you see an eighth note with one slash, the slash basically doubles that note value. So if an eighth note is just 1 and 2 and, if I put a slash through it, an eighth note becomes 2/16. So in my first measure, what I'm doing is I'm playing eighth notes, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, but I'm doubling my first, or all of my right hands. Double left, 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 right. So in our level number 3, level 3, we did this exercise already, but we played it with multiple bounces. So hopefully you worked on that. Now all we're doing is, instead of a multiple bounce, we're playing a double stroke. And again, this is not a bounce stroke, this is a double stroke. So you're using 2 wrist motions. So I would encourage you to practice this first without your sticks in your hand. Practice it either with your hands on your stomach or your legs. To where we can get those 2 really solid wrist strokes, okay? So we're developing that double stroke that we're going to be using a lot as we're playing on keyboard. We play timpani, we play tenors in the marching band. That double, that's a double wrist stroke, not a double bounce, becomes like so essential to everything that we do. We need to develop that slowly. So practicing the first 2 measures. Making sure double, 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 that I'm getting that really big double stroke. And then measures 3 and 4. All right, especially on the left hand. Okay, do you see how both of those strokes are even, not double, double, double? So I don't want, right, where one stroke is softer than the other. I want both strokes really strong. Then when we get to measure number 6, or line number 6, 4 and 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, double, 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 1, 2, 3, 4, double, 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 double. All right, again, sticks under your armpit. All right, you will know whether you're playing great double strokes and whether you can really hear that. Not wimpy double strokes, but strong double strokes. Okay, using a double wrist motion. So I encourage you to practice that, maybe just your hands without the sticks for a few days to get that double stroke really good. All right, line number 7 and 8 are our multiple bounce, but what we are learning here are 2 different roll rudiments. So in the rudiment family, there's our paradiddle family, our single stroke family, or single strokes, paradiddles. Now multiple bounces and rolls fit into their own family. The very first line number 7 is the shell of what we call a 9-stroke roll. And I'll get into it when we actually are playing our double stroke roll. But basically, 4 bounces and a tap. All right, so right now it's just the shell of the what will eventually become the 9-stroke buzz roll, or the 9-stroke multiple bounce roll. All right, but right now we're just getting used to subdividing and playing that check pattern of, but with bounces. Notice that I'm going back and forth from my right to my left hand in the 9-stroke roll. The line number 8 is my 5-stroke roll. So I'm going back and forth again, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left. Right now, I am just teaching you how to subdivide your bounces or your rolls. Eventually, we'll get faster. Eventually, we'll add accents. Eventually, we'll be doing them with double bounces instead of, or in addition to multiple bounces. But for right now, hang with me. Really work on your multiple bounces to where you can get a great 9-stroke and 5-stroke roll very evenly without any kind of mistakes as you move from right to left hand, getting used to that motion of your hands. All right, line number 9 and 10, again, are my rhythm reading lines, but what I'm doing here is introducing rest, quarter rest, in with my 8th notes. So as I'm playing line number 9, if I'm tapping my foot, I am taking out that right hand that falls on the quarter rest. So my foot will play, my right hand I'm thinking of, I could just try it like this, right, right, left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, 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 left, right, right. Making sure that my foot is tapping on every one of those right hands that I'm taking out. But eventually you don't want to have the crutch of playing your right hand in the air. Foot, right, left, right, right, foot, right, left, right, right, foot, right, left, right, foot, foot, right, left, right, foot. All right? Again, I will always say it, play your foot on every count. All right? So that way, whenever you have a rest, you're not just thinking of not playing for a duration of time, but you're actually thinking of playing something, which is your foot. If you have a drum set, it's great because you can play your bass drum on every beat while you practice your rhythms and your rudiments and everything else. Getting that coordination between your hands and your feet is what we're developing here. All right. Then in line number 10, basically, instead of just 2 eighth notes that are beamed together, now we have 4 eighth notes in a row. So in the first 2 measures, 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. Again, I'm keeping my right hand on every downbeat, and I'm just playing my left hand on the upbeat. So you might practice this line with your left hand on your leg. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3, 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. 1, 2 and 3 and 4. You can practice it like that just to making sure that my right hand is maintaining a nice, relaxed, consistent stroke. All right? So the motion that your hands are learning in these rhythm reading exercises is what the focus is in your daily drill. It's not just reading, because after you do it once, then, hey, I know how to read this. You could probably memorize it. The real focus is working on that motion that you're getting with your right hand and on the downbeats, your left hand on the upbeats. And also the coordination between your hand and tapping your foot. So working through all of those lines on each level, or each line has its own kind of unique challenge. So make sure that you work through it, that you can play it, then go to the play along track and then watch me while I'm playing it and play along with me all the way through this level. But in your mind, it's not only just getting through the level, it's focusing on all of those proper techniques and making your hands look as good as mine before you move on to the next level. I really encourage you to play this level for at least a week before you move to the next level, because you really have to completely master the fundamentals before you go on. Otherwise, it's just going to get harder and harder. All right, so master the play along track on the snare drum, and then I'll see you in the video lesson for the keyboard, and we'll talk about the scale patterns that you're learning there.